In this video, I'll show you guys exactly how we spend around 80K on meta ads, okay, for our clients in the cooking niche, and how we generated around 440K with this exact same campaign structure. So I will show you how you can literally achieve a 5 to 6x ROAS through meta ads done the right way, because as you scale, you're going to burn more money and it will be more difficult to keep your ad costs low. And I will show you exactly how to get started as a beginner and how you can replicate these results ideally for your information product business, for your coaching business, whatever. I will show you guys exactly what ad types matter, why a pixel and the conversion side KPI are very important to understand, how to set up your ad accounts the right way, okay? What dialed in 6-figure ad copy looks like, how to use the right visuals, the right language, the right structure in your ads, how to structure your ads the right way, what scaling looks like, okay, how you want to scale long term, that you want to scale generally with something like the 10% rule, okay? I will show you guys literally every single thing I learned from turning 70K, 80K to around $440,000 for my clients. Now, these are not typical results, but if you follow the rules, you can definitely make something similar happen. Now, basically, there are 3 different ad types that we always talk about. The ad that is going to be the most important one for you guys is going to be direct response ad. So direct response, meaning you want to see a direct response from the ad, which could be something like clicking a link, signing up for a Webby, watching a video on Wistia, buying a product or whatever, okay? And we generally have 3 different campaigns here that we can optimize for if we're in the information product or high ticket niche. Something like webinar campaigns where nobody seems to talk about this online, but I'm just laying it down here in this video. The exact event that you want to optimize for when you run a webinar campaign is generally nearly always complete registration, okay? It's a lead campaign though, but complete registration leads to higher lead quality than the lead event, which is another standard event. We're going to talk about what a standard event is in just a second. Now, but you want to choose complete registration. A webinar thank you page is something that we have to increase our show up rates, and our pixel sits there on this webinar thank you page. So it's basically a thank you registered page. Thank you for your registration, right? And if a lead hits this page, we're going to report his data back to Meta. So ideally, you can make sure that only qualified leads, when you have something like qualifier question, hit this landing page long term to get to condition your pixel the right way and get better quality leads. Now, when you want to run a cold funnel campaign, what you generally should do is optimize for website schedule. So optimize for schedule. It is a lead campaign, okay? A call funnel should have a thank you page as well, and something like conditional logic, where you generally only tend to report leads back who have more than 10K to invest, okay? Leads who have more than 10K to invest going to be sent back to the pixel to Meta, and everyone with less data won't be sent back, maybe still has the ability to book in a call if that works for your funnel, but only leads who have more than 10K to invest will be sent to this pixel confirmation page, which is where our pixel sits and where we actually want to send our leads and optimize for long term. Now, when you want to run a low ticket to high ticket ascension, or something like a purchase event, a low ticket offer, an order bump, a VIP ticket, you want to optimize for purchase. This is by far the highest quality standard event where you're going to attract the highest quality leads long term. You want to run a sales campaign, a conversions campaign, and you want to have a purchase thank you page. So whenever someone hits this page, okay, he basically purchased something, you want to report his data back to Meta. And if you run this as a low ticket to high ticket ascension, your price will determine your lead quality. So if I optimize for an offer that's priced at around $27, I'm going to get lower quality leads than if I would optimize for an offer that's priced at $197. Makes a lot of sense, hopefully, right? You could decide between cold and retargeting campaigns. A cold campaign is generally always what I recommend, because Meta optimizes for the lowest cost per expected results. So it's basically, that is nothing else. It's like an AI calculating the probability of how low if this cost will be as low as possible with this kind of customer. So it will basically go for a lead, we'll look at its data points, and we'll see, okay, so I now could compare all the leads that I have on my database in Meta, which lead would get me the lowest cost per lead, which potential prospect basically would be the cheapest lead, and then it will optimize for this one. Now, this is what happened with the Meta Andromeda update. What happens now is when you choose a retargeting audience and when you do not go broad, okay? So when you only have maybe something like 50, 60, 100,000 people in there, you're going to narrow your audience, okay? And what happens then is basically you will you tell Meta that you think you can predict the probability better than them, and that you think that retargeting people will be more likely to register. This is not always the case. And Meta needs to spend sometimes to acquire a cola lead, and then switch to a retargeting lead, and kind of mixes the stuff with each other. And through this mix, it achieves the lowest cost. So what we always saw when I ran a retargeting campaign, my cost per lead went up to something like 18, 19. And I'm talking about people who had 200 to 300,000 followers on Instagram. So it wasn't a small account. However, and they were posting regularly, by the way. However, broad campaigns still work better and still got us better lead quality. Now, obviously, then you can also retarget no-shows, people who no-showed to the webinar, people who didn't book a call, and the VSL funnel, people who didn't buy on the call, and so on. And then you can craft custom assets basically to retarget these people through a retargeting campaign, something that works as well. Now we also got engagement campaigns. These are campaigns that we run to lower CPMs, warm up, get some more video views, and so on. Engagement generally optimized for post engagement or through plays. And what we can then run is something like the harvester strategy, where everyone who watched around 10 seconds of a video gets retargeted through something that we call an engagement campaign. So through basically our direct response campaign. So you watch 10 seconds of your video, okay? You watch this engagement video. You can also take a post, literally just a post on your Instagram or Facebook profile, and then everyone who watched around 10 seconds of this video is going to get retargeted through direct response ads. Makes it more likely for them to convert, and generally is rewarded with lower CPMs. And then we also have something like the Hammer Them campaign. This is actually a retargeting engagement campaign where we can significantly increase our sharp rate. So as you can see over here, the Hammer Them campaign can be the difference between a webinar that generates 120K and 30K if your sharp rate is cooked, okay, and if you have the other best sharp rate practices as well, and if you're doing it the right way. Because after a lead registers for a webinar, he needs more information to understand the value and complete the deal, okay? And then we have generally something that we call 4 quadrants of content. These are first layer questions, second layer questions, expectations, and objections. Okay, this is basically everything that a lead might face before he actually wants to show up for your webinar. So you might have questions: is this live? Okay, what happens if I don't show up? Will you sell me something? Is this business model still profitable in 2026? Okay, and the more exposure we get in front of them, the more we will basically build likability with them, the more familiar we'll become. And also, we want to not only get in front of them with as much volume as possible, but also with as much value as possible. Okay, we want to make sure leads are as nurtured as possible before the actual event takes place. So we're essentially pre-selling the actual sale that happens on the call or on the webinar, and that's why Hammer Them ads you can run in pre-webinar, pre-call, and so on. Do not only increase your sharp rates, but also your close rates, and shorten your sales cycles thereby, okay? And then you want to run something like a short form campaign where you have more your reels type of stuff. You could also take reels that you have right now that Amazon objective. Let's say a user just commented you, is Amazon still profitable in 2026? And then you're going to take this question, you're going to record a reel, something like, okay, so I just got this question from David, if Amazon is saturated in 2026. Well, look, the answer is XYZ. You run this as a Hammer Them campaign for people who registered to the webinar, okay? Your frequency should be something like 15, meaning we have something like a video view exclusion. So if someone has watched around 3 seconds of a short-form piece, you will get excluded from this content cycle build. So let's say from this ad set. So let's say you watched a video, I watched this objection video, then I'm going to never see it again. If I've watched it for at least 3 seconds, and I'm going to see all the other videos that you have in the cycle bin, and this makes sure we hit them from as many different angles as possible. And we also have a long form campaign where we have something like YouTube or podcasts and so on. And yeah, basically another thing that you need to understand is that these are all the different events that you can optimize for. So it's purchase, schedule, complete registration, and so on. You always want to optimize for highest quality events, which is purchase, schedule, complete registration, okay, not lead. And then basically standard events are better than custom conversions, because standard events allow you to access Meta's database and get more data to predict the probability and get better results thereby. If your pixel is getting blocked by something that we call pixel blockers, ad blockers, and so on, tracking blockers, iOS 14 updates, you want to install something called an conversions API. We did it on the server, and this from our ad account got us around 14% better additional conversions reported. So this way our data is 14% more accurate, which is very, very, very important when you scale. What you want to do is duplicate, because as you can see, we get browser ones, this is a pixel, and we get server ones, this is a conversions API. And in this case, our events get deduplicated because you have automatic event deduplication, something that you need to have in place when you want to run ads with, when you want to track your events with the Pixel and the Conversions API. Protect your pixel at any cost is one of the most important assets that you have in your business, okay? And one of the main reasons why we scaled to nearly 500,000 now, why we've generated nearly 500,000 now for our clients in the info space with paid ads, because we knew exactly how to protect our pixel. Now, next thing, ad copy, obviously ad creatives, your messaging is your targeting. So the better your ad creatives are, the better your messaging is in your ad. So let's say I'm running an ad and I want to target existing Amazon sellers. This is the in-market audience that I want to choose, people who are in market. I do not want to run ads for agencies, okay? This is not good. If I'm selling an Amazon business offer, an Amazon coaching, of course, I want to run to people who already have an Amazon business looking to scale, okay? Or rich corporate 9-to-5s, maybe in the heavy finance who are looking to build something on the side, which has an ROI of generally something like 30%. I want to use the right language, in-market language, something like flipping products, online arbitrage, units, SKU, wholesale, discount wholesale price, US authorized suppliers, so words that resonate with people who are in the Amazon niche. I want to use the right visuals, so when I'm recording an ad for an Amazon business offer, I want to make sure I record it in my warehouse, okay, where I show pallets, where I dress casually. I do not want to record in front of a Lamborghini, obviously, because this will record a lot of broke leads. I want to have a bunch of different angles. So basically, when this is a moon, this is our sale, okay, this is our registration. We want to hit it from as many different angles as possible. So pain angle, comparison angle, uncertainty angle, rage, fear, and so on. I want to make sure you can use AI to make your ads way more creative, diversify them. We do not really tend to chop different ads hooks. So we have something like AI hooks, AI UGC hooks, corporate hooks, and so on. We want to chop them together with different bodies for as much diversity as possible, because diversity gets rewarded with a lower cost in the post and parameter update, which is why you generally want to have around 15 to 20 different ads in an ad set. You want to structure your ads in a way that we have hook, reason, CTA, majority hooks, minority, and so on. And you want to make sure they stay actually compliant and so on. Now, obviously, I've written a bunch of ads in the past that have generated multiple six figures, as I told you before, right? So one ad, for example, is where we target people who have been doing Amazon arbitrage. Where is it? Yeah, let's go with this one, with the garage one. So something like, your garage became your new Amazon warehouse, you start selling, made decent money, boxes are everywhere. Right now you're looking for a way to scale. I can show you a way where you put X in, you get 30 to 50% more out. This was my client situation, and so on. So basically targeting existing Amazon sellers, and by hitting a pain point, something like garage became your warehouse and so on, which tells us exactly where these guys are at in their journey. So this is how the magic of Amazon works. I don't say something like, so you're already making 2 to 5K a month on Amazon. I say so your garage became your Amazon warehouse. Okay, this is a pain point I resonate with, and I want to solve it instantly with my product last year. Okay, then we have static ads and so on. Now, when you scale, what you want to do is you want to treat Meta's AI like a dog. You want to give it the right signal. So let's say, by treating it like a dog, I mean something like when it messes around, okay, when you don't show it the right limits, then it will mess around. But when you do, it will actually become your best friend. So what happens when your CPM goes up and your CPL goes up as a result of that? You have no idea why. Then do you want to scale spend? No, you don't want to scale spend, because when you scale spend, you tell Meta you're fine with it and making you participate in higher priced auctions, and your CPMs will increase further. Now, when your CPM goes up, your CPL goes down, and you lower your spend, the Meta's AI will understand that you do not want it to participate in cheaper auctions, and as a result, your CPM and your CPL will decrease. So when you scale, make sure you have something like a cost cap in place. This is basically something that limits your spend. So let's say my cost cap is at around $8. It will limit my spend to something like $6 to $10. It will fluctuate in there, but what won't happen is that it will hit something like $2 per registration, $25 per lead, $2, $26 per lead. This won't happen, okay? It will keep your cost stable as you scale, which is very important, because when you scale, you're obviously putting on more spend, and then this thing will happen, but with a cost cap, it won't. Right, okay, and on top of that, you want to make sure your ad account is set up the right way. So we have something like the 14-day rule. Let your business manager lay around for 14 days until you do anything. Then verify your business in the business manager, add your Instagram account, add your pages, add one payment method per ad account. Let then your ad account lay around for another 7 days, okay? Very important, because if you don't do this, Weta will flag you. You're going to get your ad account shut down, and you will have a lot of headaches. One of the most frustrating thing that you can have with Meta, but it will happen to you if you don't follow the rules I'm laying down here. And then you want to warm up the ad account after you've had it lay around for 7 days with an engagement campaign for around $5 to $10 spend that you then gradually scale up by around 10%. You want to connect your personal Facebook account, which is ideally warmed up with all these assets, and then want to make sure that your business manager is protected, because you can get your ad account shut down, but never, hopefully, your business manager. Otherwise, you're going to be cooked. You're going to pay thousands to get it there, probably get scammed, or you have to do it all from scratch. And obviously, by the way, also trusted business managers get better advertising costs, better cost per millions, because Meta trusts you and user experience. As we can see over here, it just makes so much sense. They want to promote positive user experience. Now, obviously, they want to reward people who have a business manager who's laying around for, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 different years, or 10 years even, will be way more likely to trust and will get way better ad costs and ad space than people who are completely new and might also have something like income claims and so on. Now, as I said, okay, generating nearly $500,000 with Meta ads and turning $70,000 to $440,000 isn't something that is normal in any way. Okay, I want to tell you, it's not normal to see a 6x ROAS, to see a 7x ROAS, even partially on our campaigns with what we're doing right now. It's not normal. Okay, this is what just is possible when you actually follow the rules. You know exactly what you're doing. A lot of you guys gonna go out there, maybe even after watching this video, and you will probably burn money, because I've taught you everything that really matters when it comes to ads, but doing it yourself is something completely different, because you need to tailor it to your customer. You need to write the right ads, choose the right words, set up the right campaigns, take the right actions at the right time. And if you want to have a real expert who's done it, as you can see over here, it's generated nearly $500,000 in the info space with paid ads, then feel free to reach out to me. It's Simon.Esman on Instagram, or book in a free strategy call with me on growinginfo.com, and we can see where you're at right now on your journey, where we can help you, and where we can actually help you scale and scale together. Now, with that being said, if you were new to this channel and you like what you've seen, scaling your coaching or info product is everything we talk about here. That's literally everything this channel is about. We want to make 6 to 7 figures a month. We're currently doing multiple 6 figures with our clients on various accounts. And yeah, with that being said, if you are a new subscriber, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, share with someone who needs it. And with that being said, guys, take care.